I already get
Yeah.
started or what?
We look all right.
Is
Yeah,
that
you're
like a
chilling.
good side on your
You're
face?
chilling.
Like, do you like that
My
side
hair
and everything?
sticking up.
No, you're good.
I think
Usually
you look
sticks up
sharp,
back
man.
here when I.
You look popping, bro.
No,
you
if
came in here
anything,
dressed
we
real
got-
good.
Well, I didn't know like what to dress, but I was like, I don't want to look like too casual, but I don't want to be like wearing a suit
Hella
like
dressed
I'm
up.
like proposing a new app or something, you know?
If anything, we gotta look at Fernando because he's
Yeah,
always.
my hair is always fucking up.
His hair is always wild.
This was always clowning on me because I got really
I'm
wavy
looking out
hair.
for you, man. That's what I'm doing.
Whatever,
yeah,
man.
I mean that's good.
Well, guys, welcome to episode number 27.
27. Welcome back once again. Thank you for watching. Thank
Yep.
you for listening.
We have
Pretty
a
cool
very,
guest today. We're
very
excited for
cool
this
guest. A long time friend of mine,
Sometimes, yeah.
Mr.
Some-
Christian
sometimes.
Rees.
Welcome to
Welcome,
the
bro.
podcast, man.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll
for,
clap for you.
Yeah, I'll clap for myself.
Why don't you, introduce yourself to the people? Tell them what you do, how long you've been doing it.
Yeah. Well, my name's Christian Rees. I'm 27, I think.
Okay, same
Is
age.
that how old I am?
say I think?
Yeah, I always forget how old I am. Honestly.
We're the same age,
Oh, yeah,
bro.
27. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been shooting since like 2015 or so.
Okay.
A couple years now. And I first was just kind of hiking around and was just backpacking and camping. And me and Connor Cook, Geodes _ on Instagram, we reconnected after high school, and we were just like going outside a lot and hiking every day after work and every weekend, every moment like that we had free time. It felt like every day after work we were just always out running around, hanging out. And
Is that kind of what you grew up doing? Like just exploring and doing all that stuff?
yeah. I grew up in Zephyr Cove and Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
Like a lakeside area, up until I was like 8 or 9. So a lot of my like childhood was just strictly running around in the woods back behind our house, like
Oh, that's nice.
and playing Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye,
Hey.
like 24/7.
GoldenEye.
Oh, those
back
are
in
good
the
times,
day.
man.
Let's go.
Oh yeah,
Really
but
good times.
yeah, just I was.
So that's kind of what sparked the interest first?
Yeah,
Just being
yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
You're just
photos
very
and stuff.
outdoorsy from the start, huh?
yeah. I was always out running around, hanging out.
So did you and Connor pick up a camera around the same time? So I think Connor's been shooting that long too, right?
Yeah, so Connor initially had like a little GoPro back then before they had the ones with like the screens on them.
Yeah.
And we both had our phones and we were just running outside all the time, and we were taking pictures on our phones and on GoPros. And it was at the same time where like phones, you could start doing like long exposures,
Yeah.
and the sensors started getting bigger on the cameras, and like the low lights started getting a little bit better on them.
Oh, yeah.
And you could put up your GoPro on like a little tripod socket and do like a long exposure, like
Yeah.
a time lapse, and you thought it was like the coolest
That
shit
was
ever.
such a cool transition from like, because when we started, like cameras weren't all that good,
Yeah.
And then
They've
everything
gotten
just
better.
started getting better and better and
Yeah.
better. You're like, oh damn, like
Yeah.
it was really,
The
really
gear
cool.
nowadays is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Like what kind of gear you can buy and the things you can do with it is pretty
Yeah, it
ridiculous.
was a really,
bro.
really good time to get into it. But what are some of the things that you do the most, as far as photography, or what's the main thing you do?
So when I first got started, it was just strictly, we were just doing landscapes.
You were just doing it for fun and stuff.
Yeah, it was just like a fun thing, going out shooting, and we started looking at like the pictures that we got on our phones and on the GoPros, and we were like kind of pushing them to the limits on like what you could do with them at the time. And then each year there was just like a new phone or a new GoPro or some new kind of little thing that you could shoot on, and we were just like, we kept pushing it, and one day we were just like, hey man, if we're like doing this with cell phones and GoPros, like what would it be like if we bought cameras? So me and him just like drove to Best Buy like one night, like 10 minutes before they closed, like randomly, and we walked out with cameras
Sick.
like that
That's
same
funny.
night together,
Hell
practically.
yeah. Like just like finding
Literally,
out
like,
how everything worked and everything.
on the fly. Yeah, we knew nothing really about it. Like some people had some little camera setups and stuff, but yeah, when I was growing up, like I would always look at pictures in stores and magazines, and you look at like National Geographic magazines, or you watch like documentaries, and like you're always like super captivated by like what you see, but I never really thought like what went into taking that, like how does it work, what kind of gear was it on, is it film, is it digital, like
Yeah.
how did they edit it, like what was the process like. I was just always like captivated by the images, but like cameras themselves weren't really like too far fetched for me. Like I feel like understanding them was like something that I could do really well, but I had just never really like used them. It was weird. I never really cared for them at all. I'd never like picked them up randomly. I never like shot them. Nobody ever really asked me to like shoot on their cameras for them. And, everybody was, using flip phones, and then started getting like the first iPhones and stuff. And then that's when like you kind of start taking more pictures and you start using it a lot.
Just because the cameras on them were already that good. It was just kind of wild on a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I used to hate pictures.
Really?
Like, I would just not want to take pictures of myself.
Or
I
anything?
didn't want to nothing. Like,
I think I always enjoyed it. Even in
very
like
unexpected.
Like in high school, I wasn't a photographer in high school, obviously, like, when we went, but I always enjoyed it. I think I wanted to take like a photo class.
Was there photography classes back when you guys were in high school?
We had some at Damani,
Yeah,
huh?
we had them. Yeah, there was photography at Damani.
Yeah. Did you ever take any?
No, they did some film too there a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a developing lab in there.
I'm not sure. I remember wanting to take the digital like my freshman or sophomore year as like an elective, but my parents were like, nah, we're not buying you no $600 camera. I was like,
Yeah. So, a lot of the gear wasn't really like provided.
No, like you had to buy everything
your own,
yourself.
yeah.
So only like the kids with money got that class. It was always ones where their mom and dad were like, $800 for your camera, it's cool. Go take your digital classes, For me, I ended up not doing that, and I think I took like guitar. That was it.
Guitar?
Yeah.
You want me to bring it to see if you remember anything?
Oh, hell no. I suck at it now, bro. I took it like one semester. I'm not a guitar player. But like my parents got me a guitar because it was way cheaper than a camera. Like I think my stepdad got a decent guitar for like $100. He's like, I'll give you this. And I was like, okay. So I took like a guitar class and it was whatever. But I never like did anything with it either. I regret it though. I wish I would have taken photography in high school. I feel it would have sparked it way sooner.
I had like a lot of other like really creative outlets in high school. Like I took like computer art and animation, so kind of like stuff like in Pixar.
I used to do like drawings and paintings back then. That was like where I was at, but I just wasn't taking pictures or nothing. But
yeah, I kind of did like drawing and stuff with like Mr. Rosenberg in art class.
Yeah.
But then when I did like computer modeling and animation, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like this is something that I'd like to do, and I was pretty good at the modeling side of things, but then when it came like to animation, I was just like, this is just way too complex. Like,
did you go to college after high school at all?
No.
Like you just didn't go at all?
No, yeah. After high school, I was like 18 at the time, and my parents, they like came into my room, and I was just like hanging out, playing video games, and they're like, hey, we're gonna move in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh cool, like where are we going, like where are we off to next? And they're like, well, we're gonna move with your sister. And I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? And they're like, well, we're just gonna leave this place for you because you're doing websites at the time, and you're making pretty good money doing that, so we're just gonna move. But I mean, they like moved down the street, so it wasn't like, too far. They're still here in town.
They moved.
But
who was it? It was them two and Liz?
Yeah, my two parents and my sister Liz. Yeah, all my other siblings had grown up at the time, and they moved out.
So they're like, come on, fly.
So you they just put you by yourself?
Yeah, I woke up and they moved out like the following, like 2 weeks later on the weekend. And I woke up and, everything in my room is still there. Like nothing switched. Or
when I was just you by yourself?
Yeah, I woke up and I walked out in the living room. And they left me absolutely nothing.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
I vividly remember like opening up the pantry and
nothing.
my mom left like these saltine crackers.
Oh my God,
and I was
dude,
like,
I would have cried, man.
That's crazy.
I get paid by this client in like a day or whatever tomorrow, so I was like, I guess we're eating these, and they had been expired for like God knows how long.
Oh my God, dude.
And it was in that moment I was like, yeah, this
It's
is like
so
go
crazy.
time. Like if I don't get
you gotta
to
get
hustling,
a job
like,
and start. Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the street pretty
So
quick.
what did you get roommates or anything?
Yeah, so Danny and Kaylee, and then Casey Larkin.
Oh,
Danny Jarrett, Kaylee Taylor, and Casey Larkin.
Yeah.
They all ended up
Moving in.
moving because it was like a 3-bed, 2-bath condo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I'm
And-
assuming like Casey one, Kaylee and Danny and the other. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't really want to like I was like, this is just too much space for like myself.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, just the cost. Where was this place at?
it was at Tanamera down the street. Yeah.
Okay. Damn, that's wild. So then you
That's
pretty
wild,
much
man.
just had
Well,
to
it
get
was-
to work in, huh?
Well, I figured it out.
Yeah, well, it was nice because we had like the power and cable bill, but when it came to like the rent and stuff, my parents were in this lawsuit over the mortgage. So the lawyer advice was just, don't even bother paying the mortgage.
Oh, so you guys were living rent free for a bit.
Well, so when they handed it over to me, practically, I mean, we paid for a lot of the stuff, and then towards, when it had roommates, we paid for like the upkeep on stuff. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was pretty cheap. So
Yeah.
for the
Hell
first
yeah.
like
For
year and a
being
half,
like
2 years.
18, 19?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice.
That's
And you
sweet.
said you were doing websites?
Yeah.
And how did that kind of start?
So at Damani in high school, I took web design, and I really like connected with it, and I liked it a lot. And when I got out of school, I realized that I
Bro,
could
is
do.
it raining?
It might be raining.
I think it
Is
is.
that rain?
It is rain.
I
It
swear to
felt
God,
like-
if it's raining.
That's
bro.
why I wore a jacket.
See?
Yeah,
So
I
it was
I
a
have
smart man
feeling,
right
and
here.
I was like, it's.
Bro, it's like 97 degrees outside.
Bro, it felt like rain. Like,
Yeah.
you feel that heat
Oh, like
sometimes.
that humidity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Reno
Yeah.
so much.
Okay,
Bro.
whatever, bro. But
Anyways.
let's do that.
Yeah, anyway.
So-
yeah, I took web design, and I really loved it. And after doing that for a little bit, I kind of did some clients here and there. And the money's like really nice when you have clients and you're like doing stuff. But the in between, of course, like freelance stuff, like you guys know, it wasn't like stable. So I ended up just working at like Best Buy for a little bit. And then I worked there for a couple months. Wasn't really my forte. And then was still doing some websites on the side. And then when I was like 20, is when I got in with Custom Ink.
Custom ink.
Yeah, and I've been there this month, I think, is my 7th year.
Damn.
So that getting in when I was like 20 was like a huge like blessing, because you're just like this baby-faced 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
At a company that's a good company. So.
yeah, you have no idea like what you want to do at
Oh, yeah.
the time. Like
Mhm.
you're in the middle of like getting out of high school, but then like figuring out like what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting in there like on day one, and
Like,
like
close the window.
the packages and like just the benefits and everything was just super like.
Dude, yeah, hell yeah. Getting a job like that at 20, like you're chilling
Yeah.
for a bit. Cause like not a lot of places offer, benefit plans like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's like the first thing you should do when you're like 18, 19 and you can work at a place like that.
Yeah, I got in, and like I remember I got home on the first day or whatever, because I had like moved in with my parents for like 3 weeks or whatever between this transition period to when my apartment was going to be ready by
Mhm.
myself. So I moved back in with them or whatever while we were moving out and closing up the whole condo situation.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I like based up with them for 3 weeks, and then like it coincidentally worked out where like they gave me the job offer and my apartment keys lined up like on the same Monday.
Oh, wow.
So I like started work and then came home to like a new
A new
apartment
place
on
for
the
you.
exact same day. And then like from
Is
there,
that the
it's just-
apartment you're still at right now?
No, that was a couple years ago. That was
Oh.
over at the Enclave over there.
Oh, okay.
Back on
So
that.
that's where you lived at first by yourself, and now you're where you're at right now?
Yeah,
Or-
I've moved like 2 times since then.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Lived at the Alexanders for a little bit, and then live at the Redfield Ridge over here now.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Such a
In case
blessing
anyone's trying to
sometimes.
find me.
Huh? In case anyone's trying to find them. They're the ones behind the Walmart.
I won't tell you what
And the
number it
Sam's
is,
Club.
though, so you can drive around all you want.
We're like, we'll show you what his car is like so you can go find his car.
Oh no!
The good old Volvo, dude.
Oh no! He said it. Don't say anything else.
Don't say
He's
no
all
more.
concerned right
Yeah.
now. He's all
Yeah.
concerned. It's kind of funny how it's hard to like find what you want to do, but then sometimes things just kind of align.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just find yourself doing.
Are you like thinking of still being with Custom Ink like long term? Or
I've explored some like avenues with them a little bit, but I mean I'm open to. I mean I really enjoy like the stability and the shift and stuff, but there's some things that kind of always pique my interest and pull me in different directions that I like to explore. So I guess you could say I like to keep my options open on it.
I
But
saw your story last night about this startup that you have, right? Is
no,
that-
that's through Wandered.
okay.
So I'm
Mhm.
just helping them launch the new products that they do
Oh, I
recently.
see. Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
That seemed like a very cool project.
Yeah, Wandered's they do like adventure travel bags and stuff. A lot of camera bags. I'm sure like you guys have seen them on Instagram.
yeah, I've seen them.
before.
They're sick for sure.
Yeah, they're the homies. So I've been using their stuff for a while and been in contact and touch with them, and did a couple of interviews with them over the years to work for them. And then 2019, or no, it was last year, 2020 in February, kind of flew out and got to meet everybody and hang out and kind of see what they were working on and stuff and see what's new and exciting. And then
COVID.
Yeah, then COVID happened, and
That sucks.
so that was that with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're the homies over there.
So
that-
do they just kind of like hook you up with stuff, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm helping them with just like the launch around the new slings, the Roam slings on there.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's through their Kickstarter campaign.
Oh,
Just
sweet.
kind of help sort out like people's questions about how the backings work and what the product's like, and help with the social channels like on Facebook. They have like an insiders group where people are on there. They can like get access to stuff before like other people do, or
Oh, uh-huh.
different prices and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Hang out with them, help out with stuff. So, and yeah, they shoot me some new stuff to shoot with and use, and that's pretty much like strictly all I use is their stuff. So
Oh, their
pretty much
stuff.
for everything. Like that's everything I took on the Yellowstone trip too.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of the bags and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like everything.
No, that's dope, dude. So what, besides like working through them, like, I mean, you just kind of do freelance stuff, right? Like on your own,
Yeah.
like on the side and stuff.
Yeah, so when I'm not at Custom Ink, weekdays pretty much. It's like my 9 to 5 a.m. to 1:15 every day.
Yeah, I remember that schedule.
5 a.m. to 1.
Yeah, he used to work there with me. So
Oh,
I worked.
I
I worked
see.
there for like a year, and that was the same shift I had.
Well,
5 a.m. sharp.
the waking up part must be kind of rough sometimes, but then you have from
Yeah, you
like
got a lot
1
of the
to
day off.
The
That was the
Yeah.
benefit for sure.
yeah, you're up before the sun's up every day, and it's
Mhm.
cold in the winter, and sometimes
Oh,
you're
yeah.
up before the snow plows are. So if you're in a
Mhm.
car that's like
Not that
lower,
good.
you're just pushing snow with your bumper.
I
until you
thankfully
get to work.
lived really close back then when I worked there, so it only took me like 8 minutes to drive there, which is really
Yeah.
nice. But yeah, dude, in the winters it used to suck because you're up like butt ass early,
It's so cold
like
because that's
so
like
early,
the
dude.
longest period between like 3 and 5 a.m. is when the sun has been away from that side of
Mhm.
the earth for the longest
Yeah,
period.
I remember
And that's
waking
when
up
it's
and it'd be
coldest,
like
and that's when you
15,
get up.
20 degrees outside
Yeah,
in the
screw
winter.
that, man.
Oh,
You'd
dude.
have to go so layered up, and then you're inside the building and it's like nice and warm. So you're like, all right, let me take all
Yeah.
these damn
And
jackets
then
off.
now you're wearing a jacket and a hoodie on the way to work, and then when you like get in, you're taking it off. You're going
Yeah.
home in short sleeves and shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's hella hot
And
by
you're
the time
wearing
you get
pants
off.
on the way to work. Yeah.
God.
But do you get
dude.
to do a lot of projects of your own
Through
on like outside of your work?
Yeah, so that I really like that because just the schedule, especially in the summer, like I get off so early and I still have a lot of free time to hang out with friends and family and do like shoots and stuff, and then
Yeah.
have weekends free, and then they have a really generous paid leave and like holiday
Mhm.
time off, so I usually use that a lot to do weddings or take like road trips with the homies or
Yeah.
Like the Yellowstone
Oh, yeah.
trip.
trips anywhere.
I kind
The
of
one
told
that-
him about that like 3 weeks out, and he's
The
like,
one
I'm
that I-
taking the days off.
Oh, that's
The
how
one he
nice.
was
It's nice to
supposed
be
to
at a
come
place
to.
like that.
He
Oh, were
was
you gonna
supposed to
come with us too?
I was going to,
Yeah, then he
and
backed
I
out
just
like
kind
a
of got
bitch.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
whatever.
It was my birthday week, and
Were you busy or did you really back out?
He
Which
backed
one
no,
out.
no,
was
no. I
it?
was actually busy. I took
Fight.
my birthday off, which was the 4th. I don't know.
Yeah,
Were you guys over there? by the
Yeah,
way?
it was like
yeah,
the
we were.
first week.
We
Yeah.
left like that Monday. So,
But then I had things scheduled. I'm like, ugh. I'm pretty bad with like saying no sometimes.
Yeah.
So I tend to
feel
like
that.
schedule myself like way too much.
I just
Yeah.
needed to get him out of here, bro. He's never been anywhere.
Yeah, next time though. Like
was-
if you guys plan something, I'm definitely going.
It was a lot of fun. I think the 10.5 hour drive was, it is what it is when you do
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
But it felt
it's way cheaper.
it felt
than
not that
flying.
bad because there was
yeah,
three
when
of
you're
us
with the
too.
homies.
Like
Yeah.
if it would have been 4 of us, it would have been even shorter because there's just 4 of us in the car. But I do remember after we got there from the drive, we're like
we were at each other's necks.
we were like, bro.
We just wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, we
That's
were
how
just
it
trying to
goes.
beat each other's ass the whole time.
You
They're like,
just
we've
get
been in
so
the car
fed
for
up
10
with hearing
hours.
and talking to and
Right,
Like,
like,
you're
shut
just-
the fuck up,
Yeah,
man.
pretty
Like,
much.
You just wanna,
Like when you're in the
strangle
car
Fernando while
with
he's driving.
2 of your friends for 10 hours and then you're all sleeping in the same place too. Like you're just and then you're in a national park all day, every hour of the
Oh.
day. You get in each other's neck, bro.
And the whole time the forecast says it's gonna be like sunny and happy,
And it's
and
just
then
gloomy.
the literal 3 days we're there, it's
It
just
wasn't?
cloudy and like
Yeah.
raining. It's like most worthless weather. every time you just like you get so excited and you show up and it's like, what even is this, dude?
We couldn't even get like the sunsets we wanted to get or anything.
Oh,
It was messed up.
I hate that.
At least we were close to the park though. That was real nice.
Oh yeah, it was like
What is
5
that?
blocks.
What is that thing like that? Was it a lake, or was
All
it
the
a,
little geysers. Yeah, the colorful
Those
ones.
look fucking insane.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
they're
Old
crazy.
Faithful and stuff like that
What
out
the hell
there.
is that, man? I gotta
It's
get
basically just pure acid, bro. Like if you go touch it, your hand's gonna melt.
Yeah, you like boil
For
your
real?
shit.
No, dead ass. If
Oh,
we ever go,
yeah.
I'm straight
Yeah.
throwing you in. Just
then-
give them a quick shove.
But there's like a little trail, no? Like
yeah,
that you can
it's like a
kinda
little
walk-
wooden
Yeah.
walkway. But obviously they have signs that are like, please don't touch it or step on it. Cause
Oh, wow.
your shit's gonna get burned. So.
Dude,
There's like
that's
people's
fucking
hats that
insane.
like blow off in the wind and they're just like sitting there and they look like they've been like cooked.
Yeah, like
Like
if you
in
just
the
throw
water.
like
fuck?
a piece of plastic, you're just gonna see it dissolve because it's
Yeah,
just
it's
acid.
pretty gnarly.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy,
the
dude.
acidity and the mineral content is like
Yeah.
super high. So it's just
Yellowstone's-
like the worst.
Yellowstone's basically a huge volcano. You know that, right? Like that whole park is just basically like the biggest volcano on planet Earth.
That's
And if it ever blew
that's
up,
pretty
like we'd
wild.
all be screwed. Like everybody would.
Yeah,
be
the
screwed.
whole Western Hemisphere would just like turn into
Mhm.
like nuclear winter pretty
all
much.
of Nevada, California, like we would just, yeah, we'd be screwed, bro. I'm hoping
The Last of
Yellowstone
Us,
never
but
goes
for real.
off in my lifetime. If it goes off after that, I don't care. But
Yeah.
not while I'm alive, because you're talking
Sorry,
like
kids.
like ash rains for days. Like it's just gonna rain ash forever. You're gonna block
Yeah.
out the sun for who knows how long, and it's wild, bro. Like Yellowstone
That's
is just
crazy.
basically a huge volcano on like
Yellowstone,
steroids.
we love you. Don't do it, please.
Yeah, like
Don't do it.
it's a flat piece of land, but literally right under that is like the biggest
Like a
volcano you can.
Yeah,
Giant
that-
bubble.
Yeah, that's why there's so many of those little geysers that shoot out the steam and like the acid in it, because it's a damn volcano.
Do you see that volcano that went off in fucking, where was it? Australia or some shit?
Recently?
Yeah, do you see that one?
I don't think
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
That the
that.
lava was going like hella slow. And you
Yeah,
can just
that
walk
one
up
was
to it
cool.
like that.
You
That's
know,
pretty
but every
cool.
time I see lava, I want to go touch it.
Yeah, like how could you? Yeah, you're like, oh, this is the experience. I want to
Yeah,
touch this.
but
I want
you
to
know.
like jump in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like,
If you
wait,
touch it, your hands just
Yeah.
gonna slip out of your bone, bro.
You're like, this is 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. I probably shouldn't touch this.
Like you see it like in documentaries when it's slowly moving down. You're like, dude, I just want to go grab it.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, good luck. Good luck putting your hand in that.
Like people
damn thing.
shooting it and their like lenses, just like the filters and like the glass element on the front just like melts.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
their tripod's too close.
Yeah. Or the legs on the tripod just.
yeah.
This shit is so
Oh, man.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
That's so wild. Do you shoot people with your photography or not?
Yeah, so when I first started, we were doing landscapes, just running around. And I think it was Alejandra Ramirez
Mm-hmm.
from Damani. She was like, hey,
Her wedding, huh?
Yeah, she was like, I think you were there, right? You were at that wedding, weren't you?
She had asked me to do it originally,
Oh.
but I ended up being booked for the date that they decided on.
Okay, I don't
So-
feel bad for taking it then. I was like, sorry if I stole that from
No,
you.
because we did their engagement photos, and then she was still like debating the wedding
Mhm.
date and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, just let me know when you can and everything, and then like it took them a while. I understand it, like
Yeah.
sometimes weddings take a while, but by the time she got back to me, like someone had already asked for this date like way before she did, and I'm like, I kind of can't tell these people no now
Yeah.
because they beat you to it, And so she was like, obviously she was bummed out. I was bummed out because, we went to high school with her, so I wanted to do it. But it just ended up not working out. And then I remember she told me she was going to ask you and Richie to do it. Or did it like come to you and you asked Richie to go, or how did that
Yeah,
come
she had
about?
inquired with both of us at like the same time. So she came up, or she got a hold of me on, I think it was like Instagram, social
Mhm.
media. And she's like, hey, I really love your landscapes. Do you want to do my wedding? And I was
Mhm.
like, I have
Never
no
done a
idea.
wedding.
I have no idea how that worked out, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it was like my first wedding gig, and I was like, well, it's a homie from school, and it's my first wedding, so I was like, I'll just do it for free. And Richie, yeah, she hit up Richie too because he started shooting at the same time. This was back in like 2016
Yeah,
or
15,
so.
16. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we went out, and at first, I'm like driving out there, and I'm like, oh man, it's like my first wedding. But I was like, I'm doing it for free. But of course, like it's
You still-
that one day that
That pressure.
person has. So I was like, you know, whether they paid or not, you know, you still gotta like deliver.
Yeah.
But of course, you're like driving over there like nervous, you know. Like even now, you drive to weddings and you're just like so nervous.
Like, I hope everything goes well.
I hope I didn't forget my SD
I have one
cards at home.
this Saturday, and I'm like stressing out. I'm like, I hope it works out.
And then you get there and it's just so fun.
Yeah. You show up
such
and
a
you just get it
blast.
done, and you're like, sweet.
I was gonna do this one. I did this one wedding on Sunday, and I had booked it for photo and video.
Yeah.
And then my video guy kind of flaked on me last minute.
No.
And I was like,
Like the
oh
one to
my
help you
God.
with the
yeah,
video?
somebody was gonna
Oh.
help me, and I was like, I was so nervous, man.
I think I saw that story. You had like the 2 cameras rigged
Yeah.
up on the tripod.
And then it's just me running around like a crazy person, you know.
Trying to do both.
Yeah, I think it was like a slow-paced wedding, so that kind of worked out, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a
That's
lot of
brutal,
pressure.
dude.
Pretty
Even
chill.
when just pictures just look, I start sweating, and I'm like, bro, like I've been doing this forever, like. I
Yo,
should
why
be
am I
more
so nervous?
Right?
Get it
why am I so
together.
damn
Yeah, it's like I've
nervous?
done
Yeah.
this many weddings already, and I'm like still stressing out.
And now that
Yeah.
you've done it, do you like doing that kind of stuff, or what's the one thing that you like to do the most? Is this still landscapes?
Yeah, for sure, landscapes. I think it's just because it like helps me like reconnect and get back to my roots as being like a kid in Tahoe.
being outside.
As much as I despise going up and shooting Tahoe and Donner Lake because we've done it like a billion times.
The boys have hit that spot
Oh
up
my.
for way too many times.
I think the only place or thing I haven't shot at Tahoe is like under the water. I'm like, like a wetsuit. And
Yeah.
That's gonna be like my next farm. Be like at the
Yeah.
bottom of Lake Tahoe in a scuba.
You're gonna
suit.
take like a straight scuba suit and just go down and
Find some dead people
submarine,
down
just
there.
shooting
yeah,
like
dude.
pitch black
Find
darkness.
that monster that they say lives in Tahoe.
Yeah, Tahoe Tessie, dude.
Yeah, dude. You never know. Christian's
You
gonna be
never
the
know,
one
dude.
that brings it into the world. He's just gonna slap it on newspapers like,
It's
I
just this,
found
like,
it, dude.
Super
That's awesome.
grainy shot that's at like 250,000 ISO in a submarine, 1,300 feet under Lake Tahoe.
Oh my god. You can't even see the damn
You
thing.
know,
It's all
yeah,
blurred out
just
from
an
the
outline.
noise.
You probably know all the locations like in the Tahoe area.
Yeah, it's.
huh?
I love shooting up there, but it's just, man.
So
Sometimes I'm
repetitive.
like, I gotta go somewhere else for a
Mhm.
couple.
I think that's why I
days.
haven't gone over there in so long, because I'm trying to like get over that and then go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
with like a fresh mind state of like, I haven't been here in a while. I should
Yeah,
come.
it's
But
nice.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful place, but when you go that often, you just get so tired of it. You're like,
Yeah.
screw this.
I think,
Bro.
yeah, I think landscapes for sure, like definitely up there. And then after that, and you know, I got contacted to do a wedding. I was just like, because when I started, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do landscapes. Like, I don't really want to do weddings and like quinceaneras and all that other stuff. And then you know, people start getting a hold of you, and so you're like, well, this would be cool. Like, this is different. This is
Mhm.
fun. You know, let's do
Mhm.
it. So then I started doing some weddings, and then started doing like a little bit of like singled out portrait stuff, and then kind of just went from there. And then in 2017, at the time with Luke and Connor, I was just like, hey, well, we're all doing a little bit of everything. Like Luke's doing video, and Connor's been dabbling in real estate, and I've been starting to do some real estate, and we're all kind of doing weddings. I was like,
Mhm.
why don't we just like join forces? And
Is that
and
when
run
you
with
guys started
something.
up that one page?
Yeah, Alpine Visuals.
Alpine Visuals? Yeah, I remember
So I
that.
told him, I was just like, well, I mean, I could do the website, I can do the, you know, like the logos, the whole business emails, scheduling,
Yeah.
everything. Like, we don't even have to pay anybody or worry about anything. We just do it all and run with it. I was like,
Oh, hell yeah, that's a big help.
yeah.
If you knock that out, you know?
Yeah. I took kind of all my experience growing up and all my other stuff and applied it to that. And I was like, we all have really good like connections, and we have people in different industries that we can kind of like leverage with each other. And so I was like, let's just like join forces and like run with it. So we've been doing that since like 2017. So we do a little bit of stuff through there every once in a while, but
Yeah, I was going to ask if you guys still do that.
yeah, I just don't really like post.
What is the name of the
Alpine Visuals.
Alpine Visuals?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
I just don't really post anything on like the Facebook or the Instagram page, because
Like,
I'm
it's just
mostly
kinda
like
there.
doing everything on like the story setup. But
Cause who are the people that are with you? In
Connor
that?
and Luke.
yeah, Connor Cook.
You haven't met Connor
And
yet?
Luke,
Or,
Isn't
or
it
Luke. but
Luke and
Nick.
Nick.
They have their own
They have
yeah,
their own
so
thing.
Luke does a lot of like commercial and like real estate stuff with Nick, but he still does a lot of his wedding stuff through Alpine, Visuals. Yeah, a lot of his
okay.
like, I think he's just gonna start doing most of his wedding stuff like that way, and still
Mhm.
keep it with Alpine Visuals, and then do a lot of the more commercial side stuff with Nick.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
because that's kind of their specialty. Yeah.
Yeah, because Nick and him definitely do more of the commercial work. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do see him go through Alpine for like weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that there's both.
You can work together too, you know.
Like you can
Yeah.
have both. Yeah.
Yeah, we were able to just kind of like, I'm like, let's just run with everything. We can put it all together up on one page and set it all up and hang out. And we have like pretty good clients and pretty good connections that we can use through it. So, yeah, we've been doing that since then. But I just don't like blast it up and put it up a whole lot.
Is that how
but
you
most
still
of my
get
stuff
most
through-
of like your freelance stuff, or?
Yeah, it's mostly through just like word of mouth. A lot of the stuff gets through the website,
Oh, okay.
through like the bio setup or whatever.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But and then I get the occasional people that just like reach out word of mouth or whatever. A lot of people
Yeah.
through work have been getting married and
Oh, well, yeah.
wanting
And I mean,
photos
if
and
you've
stuff
been
too.
there that long and stuff,
Yeah.
it's kind of like we have a photographer here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can just hit this guy up. So yeah, it's been pretty cool to run with that. But that's pretty much how I get a lot of like my freelance stuff now. So
That's pretty well, man.
Do you think you ever want to do freelance full time or no?
I've thought about taking it full time, and like I feel like I have like the pieces and the system in place to just kind of like just say go. And I've thought about it over the years, but I have like a love-hate relationship with like the hustle,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like it's really fun and I love doing it, but there's like sides of the business that I'm not like always a big fan on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want
Like
to
taxes?
run like full? Well, yeah, and then it's hard to like leave like the benefits package and everything
Yeah.
that I have
Get
now
your
through
own
my job.
insurance.
Yeah.
Dude, it
Like-
sucks. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like I think I didn't think it that much when I left Patagonia, because Patagonia is the same thing. Great benefits, super dope place to work for. Like you said, like very generous, like PTO and like all that.
Mhm.
And so it was a great company, but my schedule just wasn't as convenient as like the custom ink one. Like
Yeah.
I was working 3 p.m. to like 11:30, so no sunsets for me.
Yeah.
So during the week it was like I can't do anything because everyone's at work, and when they're not at work, I'm at work. So my Monday through Friday was just non-existent as far as photos went. And actually, sorry, I used to be off Fridays and Saturdays, but I would work Sunday through Thursday. And so working on Sundays was already a pain, because it's like, there goes your Sunday clientele,
Yeah,
which is
your
when most
weekend.
people are free. And then Saturday, like, yeah, I had it off, but it's
I
like
wanna
I
chill.
still need a day off.
yeah.
And then Fridays, I was like, I mean, whatever. There's not much happening. So I think that's why I was just like, whatever, I'm going to leave and see how it goes. Because I just didn't have a schedule that worked with me like that. Like, if I would have still had like a 5 a.m. to 1, I'd been like, whatever. Like, I'd probably just do both.
Mhm.
But then I also just wanted to say, screw it and do it.
Yeah, Fernando he was not a fan of custom ink.
No.
I've never seen that man not smile in my life.
And that's why I went to Patagonia after.
I can see your
It's-
point of like liking the hustle, like sometimes you're so busy that you're so much more productive when you're just going.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy. I've gone through this because I left work like 2 months ago, and I've gone through these little phases of like, oh, I don't have anything today, I'm just gonna lay on my bed the whole morning,
Yeah.
and the next thing I know, I gotta go do something, and I didn't do much for the day.
Yeah, it feels like it kind of just like flew by too.
Yeah, so when you have the job in the morning, you have to go, and then from there you're like, what, you're gonna go back and lay down for hours and hours? You're just
Yeah.
gonna keep going,
Yeah, that's kind of like my worry is it's just like it gives me like a structure to my day.
Oh
And
yeah.
have some kind of like expectation that it's like I feel like I could police myself enough to do like some like full.
Well, it's like the
free time,
stability
full
too.
length.
Like, you're so used to it now. You've been there 7 years. Like, that's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up every morning and I'm like, why did I do this?
What if
When you get up
Because
at
it's
4
4
a.m., you're
a.m.
like,
yeah,
bruh.
but then you're getting out at 1:15 and the sun's shining. I got off one day at like 1:30, and I went and got I went like straight to the gym after work, and then on the way home from the gym, I went and got groceries, and then I went home, dropped off the groceries, and then I drove up to Tahoe, and I brought like a book, and I sat up there at Tahoe for like 2-3 hours and read
Just
a book
chilled?
and watched the sunset, and then when I drove home, it was still like 8:45.
That's wild.
And I'm like, I still have like, an
Yeah.
hour and a half, 2
That's
hours
the
before
benefit
I go to
of
sleep.
waking up early for work because then you're off early.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always preferred morning jobs. And like when I went to Patagonia, the only shift they had was the 3 to like 11:30, and I mean, I ended up liking it because of my like supervisor group and my coworkers were just really chill.
Make it easy. Yeah.
But it was so hard going from like you get up at 4 and go to work to like now you can get up late if you want, and you have the morning free, but not really because it was such a weird time frame. Like I would wake up at like 8, eat breakfast, kind of just hang out, and then it's like 2 and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work, and you come back and you go to sleep at like 12:30, and then you just do it again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
They have like, with the night shift stuff too. I always feel like I've always been weird about doing like shifts that are later in the day because I feel like you wake up and then you're just like waiting around to go to work.
you literally don't do anything,
And you like run the risk of like, well, if I go to this appointment or this doctor's appointment or something,
and it takes too
or
long.
the dentist,
Yep.
are they gonna go
It's
over
not
and keep
fun
me?
looking forward to going to work later on. Like you just want to
Yeah.
like get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's why I
You know
wake
what I
up
mean?
and I'm like, dude, this. Every morning I just roll up and I just sit there and stare at the ceiling for like 5 seconds, and then I just jump straight up on my feet. In the first like hour and a half every day, like it's still like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like I don't care who you are, dude. Like
Yeah.
getting up that early every day.
It is, yeah.
But you know, I
It's
think
rough.
about it, and it's like 7 years at one place is like that's a long time. Like
Yeah.
we're
Now
all
imagine
still
you-
pretty young.
You leave and then you don't have to wake up. You don't have to get up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be even harder, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a weird switch up. So I've thought about doing like.
What if it gets
photo
too
stuff.
crazy to the point that you're like, oh shit, I can't really keep up with the freelance stuff.
Yeah, there's days when I feel like I have those like because with that and photo stuff, and then I'm doing like small business IT and then website clients on the
Mhm.
side too. It's just some days I get home and I'm like, I wish I could just like sit for like an hour.
Oh, yes.
But I have so much I still have to do. But there's those like times where it frees up for, you know, a couple weeks or a week or two, and it's just like so nice to look forward to. But yeah, sometimes I think I like really want to take it full time, but the industry is just like I just have like that love-hate relationship between like having to yell from the rooftops all the time and like get hustling for like clientele.
Mm-hmm.
I just really love like going out for the clients that I do have and just like providing like really good experience for them, and then like getting that word of mouth like referral, and then like being really sufficient with that.
Because at some point it also becomes a quantity over quality, you know.
Yeah.
So like if you
I could
really
see that,
if
yeah.
you get all these clients, then it's gonna be hard to provide the same quality to all of them too,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like that's a perfect way to do it, you know, because you're working, you're not too worried about the money aspect, you know.
Yeah.
So you can really, you know, go above and beyond for that one client.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it gives me the stability and the benefits and stuff like that I wouldn't have to like try and track down or purchase outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which suck.
it's nice money on the side, like doing the stuff freelance on the side and websites and stuff like that it just like supplements like the stability.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some days where I'm just like, my God, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
Overwhelmed.
oh yeah.
I mean,
I
it's,
just want to turn everything off.
I feel
for,
like
a
sometimes
month
I feel
and
like that.
just-
I'm like,
and like,
why did
oh,
I
yeah.
book so many things this week? I have like
Yeah.
4,000 some photos to edit. Like
Yeah.
this is ass.
And then
but-
you do it though, and you just feel so like rewarded. Like you're just like, I don't feel like creative. I don't feel like how am I gonna switch up? Like how am I gonna make them look?
We
Like,
we
what are we
always
gonna do on
we
the
always
edit?
talk about the topic of getting yourself burnt out. Like when
Yeah.
you just shoot so many times in a week, and it's not something that, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't enjoy doing the things that I do, but there's a fine line between like your paid work versus like an idea and something fun that you want to do, whether it's like landscape or like a portrait creative shoot, which are very refreshing. But it's like if you don't do that and you just book like wedding, like work shoot after work shoot, you just get so burnt out.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
me
burned
too.
myself out the past 2 months, and it's starting to hit me that I like really burnt out. Cause the other day I ran into him too. It was just funny. I did like somebody asked me for just, you know, not like a graduation or a couples or anything. They were just like, hey, I have this orange dress and a hat, and I want to go to where there's flowers. I'm like,
Just
"Oh,
like
I
a
know
little
just a
hangout collab. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I
Those
mean,
are
they
fun.
they hired me for it.
Oh, sweet,
but,
sweet.
Yeah, but they were like, that's what their idea was, and I was like, oh, well, hell yeah, dude, this is nice. I haven't done anything like this in like 2 something months. So it was because I was so focused on the work part of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is not. And if that's when it hit me that I was really burned out. Like I'm tired of going to UNR, bro. I'm tired of
Yeah.
grad photos. I think I have some at 7 today too, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's okay. And now weddings are coming, and those can be a lot, because it's like an all day
Yeah.
thing. But I genuinely like love weddings, so I don't think I'll ever get burnt out of doing weddings, unless I was doing like 4 a week, then maybe. But I think even just having one every weekend is like okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't really stress it that much.
Yeah, I usually space them out every once in a while. Like I'll do a few a year just to where it's just like a good amount that
Mhm.
like I'm still like shooting and having fun, and I could still like be creative when it comes to just like exclusively like weddings. But
Mhm.
yeah, then I don't have to like
I
worry
think that's
about
the
like,
the,
oh
the
man, I have
benefit
so
of
much.
of having a normal job though is that since you're not relying on it for income, like you have the flexibility to just be like, I only want to do 10 weddings this year, like whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's like your business and like your income, you kind of have to take the workflow
Mhm.
because like if not, you're not gonna make any money.
Yeah, there was a few times where, because I did at Custom Ink, I did an internship for like process engineering. I did that in the first couple months of 2019, and then they had me out in Washington D.C. and I just kind of like, told them about my experience in the program and what I worked on with like our software engineers in Prague and like how the program was for me. And the position coincidentally it benefited me. It actually ended up opening up after they did that internship program. So I had applied for the thing, and I sat down one day and I was like, what would be the perks of taking like a position like this, and what would be like the cons, the pros and cons between the two. And the reality was like sinking in that I was like, there's a if this position works out and they pick me as a candidate, there's like a chance that I would be going to Fairfax, which is like a suburb of Washington,
Oh
D.C.
yeah.
And at the time it was like, hey, we would want you out at the office out here, and then like, maybe occasionally the team goes out to Prague and works with some of the software engineers that are contracted out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought about it, and I'm like, when I was out there, man, I just did not, like, the East Coast is a different beast.
Yeah.
Like, I flew around out there, and I took like a couple days in Atlanta by myself to just cruise around and walk around and explore, and then
It just
stopped
wasn't
off
for
in
you.
Florida to see my brother because he got a new house and moved out there with his wife. And when I was out there, I was like, man, what do you guys do out here? Like, he's like, everybody like in the area was like, we just go like clubbing, we just go out to town.
Yeah, like that's
And
all they have.
Like, that's cool, but like, where's the mountains at?
Yeah.
Like, where's the hot springs? Where's
Yeah.
and they're just like, you don't want to go in the water around here.
No.
Like, you go to, unless it's like the Keys in like Miami or something. Like, you were in Miami the other day.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the water's off Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah,
like, you get
like,
in
don't
and
do
it's
that.
just like slimy and
Yeah.
it's salt water or whatever. But it's just like, it's almost like brine. And same thing with like the DC area. It's just like, I mean, like, who's just gonna go swim off the shores of DC like year round? Like, maybe in the summer, but even then it's like, do you really want to go swimming in that?
Yeah.
And then I just thought about like, I've been in Reno, Tahoe, like a lot of my life, but man, every time you just go somewhere else, it's so hard to leave this place.
It is. You miss it.
Kind of funny though. Like everybody talks about how they want to leave,
They always come
but
back.
then they always
They
come
always come
back.
back.
Or they
Always.
never
I
do
see so
leave.
many people
Everybody
leave
from
the
high
city
school came
and they all come
back.
back.
But then just goes to show, this is a good place, man.
Yeah.
We're in a good spot.
I used to have that mindset of like I want to get out of here, and there's still a part of me that would want to go to like Oregon, but then I'm also not the biggest fan of like big cities.
Yeah.
So I would definitely not go to like Portland. I would maybe go to like Bend or Eugene,
Outside
and
of
just,
Portland
like,
area would be cool. Yeah.
a chiller
Like a
little like
suburb out
city.
there.
Yeah, because then you're still close to everything. But then it's like, I like where I'm at because I'm still kind of close to
Yeah.
everything. Like
I think
you're
what-
in the middle.
A lot of us too are growing up and we're just like trying to figure out what we want to do. A lot of people are like, I just want to get out of Reno because there's shitty people, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if you hang out with shitty people who do shitty things, like,
yeah, like
it's gonna be shitty.
If
you
you're
know what I
around
mean?
people who are on the same level as you of what you like to do. It's cool here, you know.
When I was
There's a lot
growing up too, like I always looked at like the opportunity. I'm like, what is there that I could do? What is coming? What's changing? Will it benefit me? Will it benefit like what I want to do in my life? Will it benefit my happiness? And I think that's you go up to Tahoe for one day and it like checks off all the boxes. Especially right after work, you know what I mean, on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your schedule allows for it. But
yeah, definitely, dude.
Hold on. Sorry. You gotta reply to this.
Aren't you always the one telling me not to be on my phone?
Yeah, I know. That's why
I thought I was gonna be the one.
I'm apologizing, bro. I gotta reply to this.
It's alright, do your thing.
Bro, so, with the guest that we... Sorry. I'm over here on my phone, then I come back all hot. With the guest that we had before you, we kind of got into a little of a deep conversation.
Yeah, you guys... What do you guys want to spill the tea
No,
on?
we talked about... there was this question, like, what is success to you? And I really want to find out, what is success to you? How do you define success? So I feel like it's different for everybody. You know?
No, I think it definitely...
And I feel like that's an interesting question to ask everybody. So
I think it definitely could be measured in like a myriad of different ways. Like I think some people might think of it like, you know, financially or emotionally or mentally or physically or whatever. I've never really like needed much in life. Like I've never been like one to strive for like certain set things to be like successful or happy. I feel like I've always been like pretty content and like work with what I have and like what I want. But I think, the ultimate thing is just doing what you love, really. Like, that is the pinnacle of, like, success for me, and it doesn't matter how much money you make.
Exactly. That's exactly what we said.
It doesn't matter. Is that what he said last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you think about, like, I'm like, I don't want a big house. Because I just think it's more bathrooms and stuff that I have to clean, or I have to pay somebody to clean them for me, and I'm not going to be in all of them, you know what I mean? Like I only need one.
I'm content with like a little 2-3 bedroom, 1-story little house, little yard. We chilling.
It's funny
more than that.
And the taxes on the house too.
Yeah,
it's the highest.
Yeah. Yes. It's funny when growing up, I don't think I was like super poor, but you know we were definitely struggling sometimes. And it's funny when I moved here, it was like, okay, I can do all these things, you know, I can get a car, and then now I can get a better car, and then we bought this house, and then we're thinking about maybe buying a better house, you know. So it's just kind of funny to see like at what point is like I'm good, you know, like at what point you gotta like settle, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny to see like I'm starting to realize that I just want to be happy, man. Just want to be cool, doing things that. Because I used to hate my job at the very end. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy, dude. Like, I don't even care about all the money. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm just trying to be cool.
Yeah, when I was... My parents owned a bail bonds business for, like, 25 years in that offices in Carson and Vegas and stuff. So my parents were... they were pretty well off growing up. And so... like we weren't spoiled like brats. Like our parents, there was like a limit, you know, like they wouldn't, you know, like just buy everything under the sun. You know, they would still be, you know, good parents, and they weren't like, you know, rich asshole parents or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, when I get older, I just think about like sometimes we drive up and we go buy that house up in Tahoe, and I think about all like the stuff that my parents had, and you know, to them it was whatever way they wanted to measure it. I don't know if it was because, you know, it brought them happiness or if it made them successful. But, like, you know, our parents, you know, no matter how much money our parents make from, you know, anyone's family, is just, they're like, you know, they would do anything for their kids. Mm-hmm. And so it just seemed like our parents, they just, like, you know, they always try their best to have our needs, like, taken care of. But I guess you could say, like, yeah, we grew up in, like, a neighborhood that was just, like, white suburbia, you know, like my parents just, they were just rolling in it from the bail bonds business. And when I get older, I think about like, you get a big house and you get a big car and the jet skis and all this stuff. But then I'm like, feel like we kind of lived that already. And even then it was like, whatever. Mm-hmm. When you're a kid, you don't like think about like, oh, you know, it's 2 stories or 3 stories. I just think about like, because every day after school we would just come home and I would like take my backpack off and just throw it down, and my dad like put up this like 10-foot fence to keep bears out of the backyard in the pool, and we would just hop the fence every day, and we would just run around the woods back behind our house because there was like a couple acres of just
like free,
all
open space.
free, open, natural, like forested area that in between like Skyland and Kings Beach before they like clean cut some of it.
Yeah.
Now when you go there, it seems so small because we're like adults. But when you're like a little kid, you know,
It's
7
huge.
years old, yeah, it just seemed like this whole. It was like Narnia back there. Like you just jump
Right.
through the closet.
It's
you know?
as big as your imagination makes
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
you know?
And-
that's how my grandma's house in Mexico, where I grew up, and there was like a little wooded area nearby too. And I've gone now, and I'm like, this is so tiny.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's not even a lot, but when I was a kid, it felt like massive, and you'd get lost.
Yeah.
Or something. You're like, dude, I can't go that far because like, you know,
Yeah.
Mexicans are like, "Te voy a dar el cucuy."
Yeah.
Like, don't go out in the far because you know, blah blah blah. And then you go now as a grown person, you're like,
I'm
this
fine.
is like nothing.
That's like a good
dude.
analogy
Yeah.
though. Like you can just make it. Everything can be what you make it. You know.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to be happy, then you can be happy with what you have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And sometimes I feel like I like forget about those things. Like I didn't even remember.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the bills and what went into buying all that stuff and that, you know, the houses and the loans. But then when I was younger, all I remember is just like running around the woods with like my brothers. And when it started getting dark is when I knew it was time to go home.
Yeah.
And like, you know, parents would, you know, have dinner ready or whatever. And we would come back and then we would just play like Nintendo 64 and just hang out.
Mhm.
And it was just wash and repeat every day
That was the
Yeah.
life,
for
dude.
like years.
That
Yeah.
was
For
the
years.
life.
That's like my most vivid memory. And then when I started going to school and going to Damani and stuff, I felt like, you know, you go to like the social scene and you go to the parties and you're hanging out with everybody and you're doing your thing. And I never really like dabbled in drugs or anything or alcohol at a young age at all. I've only ever like, I only started drinking until I was 21. So I've never even smoked a cigarette or like weed or anything. And growing up, I'm not straight edge, by the way, guys. So don't worry. I'm not going to judge you either if you do.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, it was just going to parties and hanging out and, you know, the social scene and then the responsibilities start to pile up and you get a job or you move out, you start going to college or trade school and you know, you start getting all these bills. And then I thought like I was like a year and a half in at Custom Ink and I was like, I just felt like all that stuff was really fun and I really enjoyed it. And like the experiences was like, I think something that like everybody should experience and live in high school and middle school and stuff. But I was like, dude, I feel like there's like a piece of me that like I was missing that I like loved doing growing up. And so me and Connor, we had just like exchanged texts and we're like, hey, I noticed, I told him like, you've been going out and going hiking a lot. Let's like hit a day hike, you know? And so we just started going hiking. And then, you know, he, like I mentioned earlier, he brought his GoPro. He was just shooting. And I just took my cell phone and I was taking pictures and just like that feeling of just like, it wasn't even like just the pictures that we got, you know, but just being out there,
Being
like
outside.
The experience.
in that environment again up there. And like,
Yeah.
it just felt like everything disappeared. Like felt like I didn't have to go to work ever again. It felt like the mail and the emails and
Yeah, all the
phone
work
calls,
Yeah.
stuff.
it all just like disappeared. And then I was just hanging out with like my best friend and we were just doing our thing. So then that's when we started picking up cameras and running with it. I think that's like that feeling of just like going out and shooting and just hanging out, whether it's by yourself or with other people, is like
so rewarding.
everybody finds their thing, you know, like there's somebody who feels like
Yeah.
that when they go on stage with a guitar or
Yeah.
somebody who's like painting. But I'm like a huge advocate that like everybody is like creative and everybody can be like successful in like what they want to do and what they like to do. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not creative or I
Yeah.
can't paint or draw, but that's the thing is like your creativity doesn't have to lie like in art. Like you don't have
Yeah.
to dance or sing. You know, you could be creative in so many other ways. Like everybody should.
I think everyone, if they really deep down look into it, they have a creative side to them.
Yeah.
But they just, when they think creative, they're like, well, I can't paint and I can't draw and I can't do this. And it's like,
Or like compare, like they see a creative person and they're like, oh, I'm not this.
yeah.
You know,
And
but you don't
it's like-
have to be just like that. You know,
You
can
can
just
do your own
find-
thing and be your own person.
Like
and have
sometimes
your
I
own
don't
thing.
think I'm creative, but then some people are like, "Whoa, you're so creative." I'm like, "Oh, I guess I kind of
Yeah,
am."
I'm the
I
same
guess.
way. Sometimes people are like, "Wow, how'd you get this or do it like that? Like, how did you see this?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
gonna
did,
happen.
you know. And I don't think of myself as a very creative person, but I guess I fall into the category. It's just like I'm not like, hey, I'm hella creative, man. It's like I think I always had
It's
it.
your thing. Yeah.
Like I had it in me, and then obviously, I think photography brought it out, like more.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I think everybody just if they really deep down look, there's
Do you-
something about them that's
Do
creative.
you make prints of your landscapes or not?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do?
They're all on the Alpine Visual site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go get some
Yeah. The
wall
homie
decoration,
at
guys.
homie at Pitch Black, Maurice. Shout out.
Mhm.
If he's listening.
I've yet to
Dude,
meet
I
them.
love them, bro.
Yeah, they're
I love
awesome.
them. They're so.
You
Maurice
should probably
and
bring
Megan.
them.
I like when I started connecting
Honestly, I
with
was
him.
about to
for-
ask Maurice and Megan to come on here. You know how
No?
sick it would be to
You
bring
should.
them in?
You don't think they'd be
That'd be
down?
awesome.
I think they would.
Imagine
I
just
think
how many people they've talked to over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I don't know
ton of
them, but-
creatives. They're great.
Yeah,
feel like
I
that'd be-
started
They're
doing
great.
work with them and connected with them, and then I noticed on like Facebook one day on my brother's account that they were like, he commented on something, and I was like, "Oh, you know Maurice?" And he's like, "Dude, I've known that guy for like 30 years." Like,
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
they're big time locals for
Yeah.
sure. I love them, dude. Their shop is just so nice, and
They
they're
do
such
such a
nice
good
people.
job, dude.
Yeah, they kill it. Like
Every time I've never gotten a
best,
print
like,
back that
print.
was like I don't want to.
no, every time I get anything printed for myself, there I'm like, holy shit, this looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like
Even
When
on
I-
shots that you
yeah.
took like days ago that
Yeah.
you didn't think would be good. It's
yeah.
like your first
the
time
way they
shooting.
finish it and they
in
mat it.
the
It's
file.
just so good. They're so like helpful with any idea that you have. Like when I did the stickers, Maurice was just like, dude, come sit here on the shop with me like on a random Wednesday and let's brainstorm. And it wasn't really brainstorming on my part. I just kind of
Yeah.
told him like I want a Reno sticker, and he's like, why don't we do something like this? I'm like, yes sir.
Yeah.
Or I want a Tahoe, and he's like, why don't we do something like this? I'm like, dude, hell yeah, that looks sick to me. Like just
Yeah.
do it. And then they're just very good at communicating. Like if you have questions or like, you know, they I love how they keep you posted. Like if you order something and it's taking a little bit, they're just like Maurice will email me like, hey dude, sorry it's taking a bit, we're a little backed up,
Yeah.
but it's coming in like a few days. I'm like, don't even trip.
Yeah, that's why I started working with them too, because they were just, the turnaround was really good, and I didn't like want to just send it out to like just some shop
Yeah.
and then have it like mailed to me and then mail it out. So like sometimes it's a little bit more work because like, you know, you have to pick it up because they won't ship it, and then I have to ship it on my end.
Mm-hmm.
But just being able to like support a local shop like that and pick it
Yeah.
up and see it before I
Yeah.
send it to somebody
Yeah, no, they're
is
great.
like the best thing ever, because I
Mhm.
don't want to like, I would just feel weird about like ordering it from some place, and then if it's like overseas then they just like ship it to them, but I'm not really like involved in the process.
And they don't know you. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like they
Like you
just
build
do
a
it.
relationship with someone here.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like
Exactly.
local too.
Like yeah, like well, I'll go in there sometimes now because they have their little coffee shop area. I don't know if you've gotten coffee from
oh
them
no,
yet.
that's cool.
Yeah, they installed like a little mini coffee bar. So if you ever have a chance, swing by, dude. Maurice is a hell of a barista, let me tell you.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
really
even-
good at
Is
making
that like in
coffee
the lobby
drinks.
there? In the
It's
front?
right there, like when you walk in.
Oh,
they
sweet.
added it like a month or two ago. One of the best chais you'll ever have.
Really?
I kid you not.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
I remember going in once and they were still building it. They're still building it, and he's like, dude, like you gotta come when it opens like next Wednesday. And I'm like, oh, say less. So I went first thing in the morning. They open at like 7 now because of the coffee area.
Do they have a drink called the Pitch Black? It's just straight black coffee.
I wish they would. They
Like,
should.
not a
They
little bit of
should. They
sugar
also
or
have like
creamer
a
in
lot
it.
of vegan treats. You know how? Well, I don't know if you knew, but Maurice is vegan. I don't know if Megan is vegan, but I know Maurice has been vegan for like years.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have like these really good like vegan cookies and like granola bars and shit in there. It's sweet, but you should definitely try it out. I've been telling people like if you want a new little coffee spot, dude, hit up Pitch Black.
Yeah,
and then get a
yourself
print while you're at it.
Yeah,
Good
and get some
idea.
stickers and support some artists. while
Yeah,
you're
get
there.
some
Yeah.
pins, some stickers.
So I'm guessing they do sell prints there.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, so they have
Mhm.
stuff from artists locally that you can go buy.
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea,
mean,
man.
dude, when they let me do my art show
That's
there, I
gonna
was
go.
so stoked. That was like one of the dopest things.
Oh, they let you do a show there, like a hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm gonna have to just get
I
a bunch of
mean,
my prints.
ask
and do
them, but they're probably booked out a lot, like
Yeah.
far ahead because I did my show in like 2018 18.
You just have to bring your stuff and hang it yourself and everything.
Pretty much, but
And
they
then
provide the wall space because now they're in a new
host it.
location, like over on 4th or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But back when they used to be by Reno High,
Oh,
is when I did it.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
They had like
I
the
remember.
smaller little shop.
It was like in that 2-story building around
Yeah,
the bottom
yeah,
floor.
yeah. So they used to. It's not as big as it is now, but it was big enough for me to cover like all the walls, you know. And I
Okay.
had a table with like smaller prints and printed out canvases and like,
I remember seeing that.
It was really dope. They like make a bunch of flowers for you for free, like small ones and big ones, and they just spread them out to people as they come in the shop. So like, I don't know how it works now, but when I did it, it was your art stayed up for 30 days,
Oh, wow.
and so people could still come in for 30 days and look at your stuff and
Yeah.
get something. Like anyone who bought anything on the walls, they would ask them to leave it there, so that way the walls weren't empty. And if it was sold, they would just mark it as sold, you know, so people can't buy that piece anymore. But they would still get a chance to see everything, so they could still hit you up like, yo, can you make me a print of this one even though it's sold out? Which is what happened to me. Like when I did it, I was very fortunate that like at least 75% of the things that I put got sold on the first day, like
Oh,
the day
wow.
of, which is really dope. And I remember by the time the 30 days came up, I maybe had like 6 or 5 things left that weren't bought,
You should do that.
you know.
Wow.
I want
a lot
to
of
do one
people are telling
again.
Me to do
I want
shows,
to
but-
I want to do one again eventually, but I need to talk to them because I don't know how far booked out they are.
Did you go to Siggy's
like-
show at Coffee Bar? Brian?
No, I didn't.
Shoots film, works at Action Camera.
Who?
Siggy?
Oh.
Brian?
Oh no,
Yeah,
but I
he
wish I
shoots
would have. I
film.
love Brian.
Yeah,
He's great.
Yeah, he works at Action Camera. He did
Yeah.
a show at Coffee Bar right
Oh,
there
wow.
on Mount Rose, downtown or Midtown.
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, they hung up his stuff. I think it was there for like a month, but
Oh wow.
he had an event night there or whatever, and I came
Oh,
out and got
what?
some wine, and it was sick. Got to
Yeah.
hang out and
No,
check out
Brian's
stuff.
great, dude.
Yeah, and
I
they
love
had
that
it
dude.
all framed up and everything. He hung them all
he's
up.
dope.
It's
That's
legit.
that's how it was for me. Like I just framed everything, and obviously the smaller prints were just on a table. Like those weren't framed, but I had like a buy 2 for 1 kind of deal and stuff like that, and it was just dope because a lot of people I had never met went, and then I had a lot of my friends come out and support. Of course, like they were like, hey, like I just came by to get a print and see you, like dude, that's fine. I didn't even care about
Yeah.
selling anything. I just thought it was sick to have a show.
Yeah.
Like,
At work, they have like some walls at the Longley office and in the Gateway one that you can like put your art up at.
Oh,
but
that's
it's just
sick.
kind of like on display. But
Oh.
I don't feel like you could just like invite a bunch of people over into the
Yeah.
office to like come
Yeah.
hang out and drink.
the way
or
that
whatever,
event worked
you know.
was from like 6 to 9 p.m. like the day of, so it was 3 hours long, and you just had music. They had a food truck outside for people who came by, and like they could get food, and people were just coming in for 3 hours, like either buying something or like they would buy something on the wall, and Maurice and Megan would just be like, hey, just come back in 30 days and it's yours.
That's
and they
cool.
would just
That's
mark
tight.
it sold. And obviously they get a cut of your percentage because they're letting you host it, but it's not like they take away a lot of money.
Oh
to
yeah,
be honest.
Well, it's
Like
the
you still
homies,
make
so yeah,
you still
fun.
make like a lot of what you sell. And yeah, I remember when I went back, they had like 5 or 6 frames and like, this is it, this is all you have left. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
If you make
Gave you a
one.
nice
Yeah, a lot of
check
people were
and-
telling me to
If
do
you
like
do-
a
yeah, you
show.
should.
Hang up my
You should
stuff,
do it, especially
I'll
because
go
you
buy
do
something.
a shit ton of landscape. You should totally do it.
Yeah.
I'll go buy something.
I'll go
for sure,
support.
Dude,
Go talk to them
that'd be
soon.
sick.
Go talk
Yeah.
to them. I'm sure they'll just schedule you out the next time they have an opening, which is usually like a year out. But
yeah.
because when I booked mine,
That's
I booked
fine.
mine in
I'll
2017,
give you time.
and they were like, the next opening we have is April of 2018. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, you know what? That gives me time to
Yeah.
stack up on
prints,
prints.
get
Stuff.
it framed and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. man.
So that's the way I did it, and yeah, it was a great experience, dude. Like, there's nothing cooler than seeing your work hung up and
And
people are just
hang
coming
out,
by.
talking to you
and just-
about it. Yeah.
It's so sick. Yeah, I had like people I never met who were like, oh, I've never met you in person, but like, hi, like blah blah blah, and they're like, where'd you take this, or like, how did you do this one? And it's just sick, dude.
Yeah,
It's like
seems
one
like
of
a
the
cool thing.
dopest
Cool thing to do.
photo things I've ever done.
That's
for
cool.
sure. But yeah, shout out to Maurice and Megan. They're the homies. I'm gonna ask them
We'll
to
bring
come.
them.
Shout out to Pitch Black.
I would love to have them here, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I
I'm,
should
I'm
totally
sure they'd
ask
love
them.
to come on.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Yeah. All right,
But,
bro. What's we're getting close to wrapping up.
Anything else you want to say, Christian? Do you
What
want to
is-
plug your
What's some
stuff?
of your goals?
Yeah, what goals
talk
you got
about
the
your
rest of
goals.
this year?
What are my goals?
For the rest of this year, at least, or 5-year goal. You can tell us your 5-year
Oh
plan.
man.
You seem like you're pretty established, Like you have your job, you have your clients.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you're
I feel
filling
like
stuff.
I don't know. The 5-year plan's always like I always think about somewhere else other than Reno, Tahoe. But then I'm just like, man, it's just so hard to
Can't
leave,
leave.
dude.
Yeah.
I feel like I've traveled a bunch of places, and I'm just like, man, it's hard.
It's hard to leave.
So I don't know. I think I've always wanted to do like a tiny house setup, but
Oh,
I think
that's
that's
sick.
everybody.
That was tight.
But
We were talking about that on the Yellowstone
zoning-
trip, huh?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
zoning laws around here is kind of iffy or weird
Mhm.
about it. So depending on how they change that, but yeah, I don't know. I've kind of always been in the tech field a lot and IT, and been wrapping up my certificates, and already got some of them through Google. So
Oh, nice.
thinking of maybe getting the rest of those, and then maybe getting into something IT wise, but. Then I just feel like I'm gonna be like on the 9 to 5 grind, and I'm gonna lose like my passion and my love. And
Yeah.
stuff. I think
It's
maybe
hard.
to end it off is to anybody who wants to do photos. I guess or be creative in the industry is my biggest advice is don't dabble in the wicked arts that is HDR unless you're doing real estate.
Oh my
And
God.
don't sell.
HDR.
What are you
Don't
talking
sell
about?
your presets.
What are you talking
Don't
about?
sell
You
your
gotta-
presets.
You gotta
Oh.
expand on that. I don't get that.
Oh,
What do you have against HDR?
No, it's just like it's a funny like photo meme from I don't know if you guys follow 9 Kelvin.
Yeah,
But-
I love that page.
Yeah, dude, he disappeared for years and he's been gone. But man, he has like the 10 commandments of photography. It's just so good, dude. It's so funny.
I have to
Yeah,
check
don't
that out.
dabble
That
in the
page is
wicked arts like
hilarious, bro.
HDR, like clarity, like 200. And
Oh, I see.
I mean,
Okay.
for real estate, it's like you gotta make the window come through the outside, so you
Yeah.
have to do it. But when you start like stacking HDR brackets of like people and you
Oh
turn the
my
clarity
God.
up, it's like, no, dude, this is unacceptable.
There's definitely
Wow.
ways to do it if you really want to learn.
Yep.
You should
Yeah.
follow Mike
I mean,
Lucido. He does
In
pretty
all
crazy
seriousness,
stuff with
though,
that.
like
yeah.
pick up the
Mike's
camera and have fun and shoot. And
Don't take it too seriously either. You know,
No.
like we're just taking photos, man. Like,
like relax, chief.
yeah.
just do your own thing.
I
and
know
make
it
your look.
can be very egocentric. You know, like you have all these people reaching out to you, being like, you're the center of attention sometimes. We're just taking photos, man. Like, just
Yeah,
be
we're just
cool.
hanging out.
Yeah.
The other day we're just pressing buttons, bro. It's not that
Just
deep.
make
yeah,
it
we're
fun.
DJs.
Make it fun, man. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks
Thanks
It
for
was
having
nice
me on.
to
It was
finally
fun
meet
hanging
you
out.
and talk to you for a little bit.
It's fun to just hang out and chat, talk
Finally
about.
got the chat in.
Yeah.
We'll get a cool picture of you.
You better
on
have all your friends and family watch this. Otherwise, they're fake.
They probably won't.
They're like, we know you already.
You
we
post
don't
up
care.
something on your story, like, what do you guys think of this shot or this? And 5,000 people view it, and
Not one replies.
you get a repost from Chino or something, and he's like, trash.
From Josh.
Yeah.
You're like, that
thanks.
sucks.
Appreciate it, Josh.
Yeah.
Love you, dude.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming again,
Thanks,
dude.
guys.
We'll get a cool picture of you on
Yeah, we're gonna
Can
get
be
a
on
little
your way.
Polaroid and then we're
Polaroid.
good. Thanks for watching again, guys. We will be back soon enough.
And also, we were in the same clothes as
Yeah,
the
because
last.
we filmed twice today. That's kind of our plan now. Is
Yeah.
to do 2 a day. So if you see our
Wear the
same clothes,
outfit every
you
day.
see
Yeah.
the same outfit for 2 episodes. Mind your business.
I know I'd be wearing the same shirts every time, but not this time, okay?
Yeah.
Like today, I actually did wear that.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, once again.
Thanks, guys.
Catch you on the
The
next video.
It's a wrap.
silence way too loud. Can we get over it? Or should we just keep this up? Can we